Welcome back to the Two-Man Advantage, and it's time now for our Classic Rants. Rants. You know, we like to tell you what we think, even though you might not give a damn.
This is where we get most passionate on our show right here.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, especially Kyle.
Well, I'm going to start it off here today. I'm going to pull a Di Carlo and have a happy rant today.
I'm trying to compete with
about
that.
6 days ago.
Click.
6 days ago, I wake up to a tweet that says that the most deserving franchise in the NHL
It's okay, we can edit
is
that.
getting a new arena. That's right. The Detroit Red Wings are finally going to be able to move out of the Joe Louis Arena, which I love, and I'm going to be sad to see it go.
Hole.
But Illich Holdings is about to invest $650 million in a new complex. It'll be the crown jewel of downtown Detroit. Oh my God, I am so happy. Groundbreaking is set for late this year, rather, and they're gonna be blight busters. They're gonna be getting rid of all the old churches and warehouses that just supply crime to the city. This arena is gonna turn this city around. It's gonna be the crown jewel of it. The Red Wings are going to be back to their glory in this new arena. It's going to open in 2017. Mark your calendars. It's going to be a great time. And if it looks the way it looks, just go to NHL.com and you'll get to see a picture of it. It's got a giant Red Wing
There's a
logo
link on our
the
Facebook
top.
page. We'll put it up again so you guys can check it out.
I am very excited about this. As soon as I heard about it, I might have got a little bit of a semi that they finally get to move out of Joe Louis Arena.
I don't get it.
It'll be their home. At the time, it'll have been their home for 48 years. It is now the oldest arena since they destroyed Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh. It was the home to 4 championships. Let's just hope the next one is home to more and more championships. But the most deserving, best team consistently in the NHL is finally getting a new home, and I am so excited about it.
As a hockey fan and being to the Joe Louis Arena many times, it did need either some upgrades or they needed to move on.
Well, you don't like peeing in a trough?
I just think the whole arena in general needed a facelift, and the franchise deserved it because they've been so good for the last couple decades. Another thing,
we have to record that and play it over and over.
Another thing, what I really like about this project is they're doing all of it at the same time: the housing, the arena, the Wildcat Court, or whatever the hell it is. It's not like we're gonna build the arena and then a couple of years later we're gonna work on the housing. No.
It's like
all
when they
this
did their
shit is going to
casinos.
be ready in 3 years.
It's like when they did their casinos. Hey, instead of putting them all in one place and having a great downtown area, let's put one over here. Let's put one over there and one over here, and then one's going bankrupt, one's leaving already. It's typical Detroit. Let's hope they can do something right.
I'm excited to check out the Wildcat Court.
Di Carlo.
I just have one question about this whole arena thing: is how much money is the city giving Illich Holding for this?
Who
A
cares?
city that is bankrupt.
You're bankrupt.
He's the only guy that wants to put stuff in that damn city.
I understand, but at what cost?
Probably it's supposed to generate $2 billion
Who gives
for
a
the
damn?
city.
But how
They got
much is-
sweet
I don't know.
F all, man. They got
I
nothing
don't know.
down
Don't take
there.
this from me, all right? You have your ACC. It's a pile of garbage,
Okay,
and you're
bud.
never going to win anything there.
Oh
We're
my
going to win Stanley Cups in this arena.
Okay.
So get over
All
it.
right, let's move on. I'm editing that shit out. Darren, what do you got?
My rant is basically on the comments that Tony Dungy made about St. Louis Rams 7th round pick Michael Sam. And if you're not familiar with Michael Sam, he is the first openly gay NFL player to be drafted in the NFL. And Tony Dungy was asked this about his thoughts on Michael Sam and him being a part of the St. Louis Rams organization. And he says, and I quote, "Not because I don't believe Michael Sam should have a chance to play, but I wouldn't want to deal with all of it." That's what Dungy said. And he also went on to say, "It's not going to be totally smooth. Things will happen." Which, if you're,
He's being honest.
He's being honest, and coming back, he's a very, religious man. He believes in certain values that he's stick to his guns. And if you're Michael Sam and you hear this, and then you have to expect it. You gotta expect, that you're gonna run into some idiots. You're gonna run into some small-minded people that are doing that. But for Tony Dungy to say that, to really, yes, we were all thinking that it's gonna be a tough transition for him, but I think with the day and age and everything that we've came a long way to having the first openly gay athlete in the NFL. And for these players, if they're, think this way, that's fine because that's their own opinion. But it shouldn't affect the team. The team obviously drafted him with the mentality that he is a football player first and a gay man second.
I think what happened with this one is that with Dungy, with his support of Michael Vick and his support of Harrison when he was going through like a murder investigation, he supported them, and I think it's just shocking. He's not wrong what he said, but I think everyone is just shocked that he said it about Michael Sam because of his past with other players.
Right, and it's going to be tough for him, no matter what, to go through all this because it is tough being the first one of anything.
Ask Jackie Robinson.
It's true.
It's the same type of deal. The first black man in Major League Baseball had to clear some hurdles. Yeah. It's the same type of deal with
They were way more than hurdles, and I think that was a way bigger deal than what this is. I know him being the first openly gay man.
It could be even worse than it is. That's what
true.
Dungy's saying. There is still people that think like that.
He had death threats while on the field, Jackie Robinson.
And then
he was the best player.
The thing to add, and I'll turn it over to Kevin, is that would it be a big deal if Michael Sam had the same talent as Javion Clowney? Would it make it different if he was gay? If he was going to be a straight titan in the NFL?
It is so new and different to the NFL.
They're all scared. And
we just said
it's going to corrupt in the locker room.
That Richie Incognito stuff with the hazing and all that stuff there. I'm just saying there is issues without gay people
I
in
understand
the
that,
NFL.
but the Richie was stupid enough. He was the only one that get caught. I'm sure it goes on every single
exactly
locker
what
room.
Dungy is saying. There is stuff that happens.
And they're really worried about the backlash that comes from it. So if St. Louis Rams players, people in the NFL, get used to it because as long as he can play, that's all that matters. I'm done.
Kevin McShan.
My rant this week has to do with everybody's favorite college lover boy, Tim Tebow, who still thinks that he can, and somehow...
Oh, you guys out there, I'm Tebowing right now.
How play in the NFL and be a functioning quarterback. He says that he's still wanting to stay in shape, hoping for an NFL tryout, but I think he should stay in the broadcast booth because that's the closest he'll get to a football. I just don't see it. With how much quarterbacks are scrutinized these days on their on-the-field performance and everything that comes off the field with Tim Tebow, I just don't see a viable NFL future for him in the near future or even at all anymore. So.
I think you've seen it slowly slip away from Tim Tebow. Everybody started to realize that he did not have an NFL arm. He could not stretch the field. And then that everybody was just as fast and big as he was when he tried to get out of the pocket. And
I think everyone knew that. They had to see it to believe it because he's such a great guy. And I agree with Kevin. Tim Tebow has a place in the world of football. It's just not on the field. It's talking about the other people on the field. SEC, ESPN, when he signed that contract.
They have a whole SEC network. I think he'd be great on that. He can have his own show.
I thought he was signed to that.
He's a good speaker. He's able to
everyone likes
hold
him.
a crowd.
He's actually a good role model in professional sports. Yeah. So anything that is good for Tim Tebow in the booth, I think, is only good for football. But he should not try and come back. He's been out for 2 seasons. I'm not even counting the Jets season. Where did he play? Up back on the punt team?
Well, maybe he'll come back in the CFL. Seems to be working for everyone lately.
He'll give Chad a call. I think it's his name now.
They already have Buckeye Troy Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, playing for the Alouettes. So
Anyway, I'm going to rant about the Detroit Tigers and that bullpen that Kyle doesn't like Joaquin Benoit, even though he was the best setup guy in the whole entire league for multiple years in a row. They think he has more holes than any other setup guy. So you put him in a bad situation because you had no closer, nothing. You had Jose goddamn Valverde, and you have Phil Koch. And you put Benoit in a position to fail, and you're going to blame it on his ass.
He threw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle on the first pitch to David Ortiz, okay? I don't care what inning it is.
If he threw a goddamn changeup and hit that out, too, that would have been an issue.
So if that was in the 7th inning, that'd be fine?
I'm
need 2 outs.
Hey, you know what?
Ridiculous.
No, you tell me if something is different with the 9th inning. Why does people have issues with
There is a lot different to the
There
ninth.
is.
So you're putting a guy in a position to fail. So he's
And
been
he-
good
and he
as
failed.
setup man.
Question.
Yeah, he's
It's
been
not
good
his
as a
fault
setup
then, I
man. So
guess.
they're like, listen, we
We're
have
not
no
accountable
closer,
for our
so
own
go
actions.
ahead and be our closer because you've never done this before and do it in the ALCS against Boston that has won the World Championship and is can't be beat at home. Go ahead, win. Your percentile is so low. Anyway, if the Tigers add Benoit, there's nothing wrong with putting him in the 7th or 8th inning to be successful. I think he's got one of the best ERAs. Actually, I know he's got one of the best ERAs in the National League. He had one of the best ERAs with the Tigers coming out of the bullpen a couple years before that and last year, even though he did get that 93-mile-an-hour fastball over home plate to David Ortiz. They need bullpen help. Go get it. And there's nothing wrong with going to get Benoit. He's been with the Tigers before. They're familiar with him. They know what he's got, and they can work with him. So that's my rant.
Question is, though, who do you trust more, Joe Nathan or Joaquin Benoit in the 9th?
Joe Nathan. That's why you paid him. That's why he's there. You're just getting insurance that you did not have last year. So if you go add Benoit, then you have Chamberlain, Benoit that's been there, right? You have Nathan, see if you can work his kinks out. If they add Soria, even more of a bonus. You are adding insurance. They had no insurance policy when Valverde crapped his pants all over the place.
You're adding insurance because people don't trust Joe Nathan.
They
Plain
don't-
and simple. They don't trust him. That's why there's so much pressure on Dombrowski to bring in
like Kyle
Soria.
said, there's 90 games left. There's lots of baseball still to be
Yes.
played. Just give yourself a card in your back pocket, please.
You do realize if they get Benoit, every base hit that he gets off him, I'm going to make fun of you guys.
Anyway,
You can send all your comments and concerns to Nick Deziel at twomanadvantagepodcast.com.
that's right. So anyway, thanks for tuning in this week. It was a great podcast. We got more coming up next week. We have our Greg Campy interview that will be finished and up on the website
We promise.
in the next couple days.
Technical difficulties.
We also have some news coming up with the Detroit Lions. We'll be going to training camp and have some giveaways there. We would like to thank Community Living Windsor for allowing us to use one of their boardrooms to do our podcast this week. We'd also like to thank Rocket Ships and Life Astray for their music. For Darrin Di Carlo and for Kyle Simkins,
See you.
thanks for tuning in.
Ciao.
See you next week.